Hello everyone, this is a video on how we factorize trinomials. Let's look at what is a trinomial. It's an expression that has three terms. It will have x squared plus 2x, for example, plus 1. So this is the first term. This is the second term or the middle term because it's in the middle of these two, and this one is the last term. So what do you do when you factorize trinomials? The first thing, you must find factors of the last term that adds up to the middle term. After you've done that, and then you look at the signs. Okay, let's do the first part. Now, it says we must find the factors. Factors are things that you multiply to get that particular number. So here, our last term is 1. 1 has only two factors, actually one factor. It's 1 times 1. There's nothing else that you can multiply that gives you 1. So it's 1 times 1. So it says you must find factors that add up to the middle term. So if I add 1 and 1, 1 plus 1, I'll get a 2. So what do? You want to write an equal sign here because it's an expression, and then you're going to have two brackets. The brackets means multiply, right? In this first, you're going to put an x here and an x there, and then these two factors that you have multiplied, that will add up to the middle term. So you'll have a 1 there and a 1 there, right? So then number 2 says the sign of the two factors, these two factors that you find, is the same as the middle term, is the same as the middle term, not in the same again, it's the same as the middle term. So when you look at the last term, it's positive, and then that's why we are finding things that add up to 2. When this term is positive, you find things that add up to the middle term. And then what are these factors going to have the sign? They're going to have the same sign as the middle term, and they're both going to be the same. So you're going to have a positive here and a positive there. Okay, let's look at another example, right? Let's look at this example, x squared minus 7x plus 6. We look at our last term. We always start at the last term and the sign for the last term. The last term is positive. So I must find factors that will add up to the middle term. What are factors of 6? What things can I multiply to get 6? I have a 2 times 3. Now, with a 2 times 3, when I add 2 and 3, do I get the 7? No, I don't. Even though these are factors of 6, they will not work in this expression. Let's find other factors of 6. If you have 6 times 1, you multiply 6 times 1, you get a 6. If I add them, 6 plus 1, do I get a middle term? Yes. 6 plus 1 gives me a 7. So it means these factors are not correct for this expression. These ones are. Okay. Now, after finding the factors, what must we do? Now, when we are factorizing, because it's an expression, not an equation, I'm going to write an equal sign here. And then I'm having two brackets. The bracket is for multiplying. I have an x here and an x there. Then my factors that I'm going to use is 6 and 1. Now, the rule says the sign of these two factors should be the same, because this is positive, they should be the same, and they should be the same as the middle term. So it means this will be a negative 6 and a negative 1. In our previous example, it was positive, so it was positive. The middle term was positive, then both of them would be positive. In this question, the middle term is negative, then both of them will be negative. Okay, let's look at the next part, when the last term is negative. Okay, now if the last term is negative, you must find factors that when you subtract them, they give you the middle term. Let's look at an example. Now, in this example, the last term is negative, 15 is negative. So you're going to find factors of 15 that when you subtract them, they give you the middle term. 15 is 15 times 1. When I subtract 15 minus 1, I get 14. So it's not the 1. So you have to think of other factors. 5 times 3. 5 times 3 will give you 15. If I subtract them, will I get a 2? 5 minus 3 will give me 2. then these are the correct factors, not this one. Then you go, put 2 brackets, put an x and an x there, and then your factors 5 and 3. The order doesn't matter. You can start with a 3 or start with a 5. It doesn't matter. What is important is the last part. Now, the sign of a bigger number will take the same sign as the middle term. Our middle term is negative. So, out of the 2 factors, which one is bigger? This one is bigger. So, this one, 5 will be negative. And the other number will be positive. When the last term is negative, always the signs inside the bracket are not the same. When the last term is positive, the signs are always the same. When the last term is negative, they're not the same. You find factors, the bigger one will take the sign of the middle term. Let's look at another example. The last term is negative, you'll find factors. Whether the last term is positive or negative, you always find factors of this last term. You find factors of 6, 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. When I subtract them, because it's negative, I'm going to subtract them. When I subtract them, do I get a 1? Yes, I do get a 1. So it means these are correct terms, correct factors. You don't have to do the other ones that won't work. When you find the correct one the first time, it's fine. Then you do the brackets, then you put an x there, put the x there. You put the factors, you can put them in any order. It doesn't matter. Then the important part, the bigger number will take the sign of the middle term. In this expression, our middle term is positive. Out of these 2 factors, which one is bigger? 3 is bigger. So 3 will be positive and 2 will be negative. Then this is how you factorize trinomial. Thank you for watching.